Hello, everybody. This is Morgan's first take, and it's the second episode. I'm joined here by your co-hosts,
Trevor Powell
and Gavin Clow.
And today we're going to be talking about winter sports. Here we go. All right. We got number one in the winter sports. We got the girls' basketball team. You know, they're
great. They're doing great. They beat East Hampton. First time in 9 years.
Pretty legendary.
East Hampton won the Shoreline last
year. Yeah. They played against each other in the Shoreline Championship last year. What a matchup that was.
They got their
Morgan lost.
They got their get back. What's next? Morgan boys basketball.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Morgan boys basketball here.
There's a lot to say.
There's a lot to say. We'll just say that.
About Morgan boys basketball.
Negative record. 1 win. What is it? 7 losses now?
Yes.
7 losses.
They only put up 23 points last game
against Portland.
That is atrocious.
23 points for Portland. What do we have to say about that?
I think we just need to come together. We got a lot of young guys here on this basketball team. We have Michael DeWake. What a dog he is. We got Wyatt Luke. We got Dylan Cinquino. We got a couple guys who can really step up into this role. Another team I want to talk about is fencing. They've been a really dominant program in the last couple of years. They've been doing great things for the Morgan school, and I think that they're going to be a great team for the next couple of years.
I want to talk about another sports team, even though it's not our schools. I want to talk about the East Haven hockey team. We got 3 players on there from our school: Benji Brown, Braden Steele, and Zach Beans. They all play. Benji's been doing a good job on defense. Braden's had a couple good shots on goal. Unfortunately, none of them have went in yet. And Wiener, same thing with Braden. And I think this team has a real shot at going back to Quinnipiac to play in the state championship.
All I'm saying is if you want to go to an electric game, go to a hockey game.
Go to a hockey game. Let's just say East Haven people don't care what you say.
It gets rowdy.
Rowdy, frisky, electric.
All right, and now we got Morgan Wrestling. They got some pretty big talent. They got Nate Kinzer, Dom Larrabee. Dom Larrabee's placed in states many times.
They got a big match tonight. Now, when this episode comes out, it'll obviously be in the past, but they match up against West Haven. First year they've ever had a team for wrestling, which I thought was pretty crazy. So we'll see how that goes. They're seeking their first win.
This match will be taking place on January 8th, so that when you're seeing this in advance, you'll know when this match took place. All right. And now we got indoor track. We have an indoor track player on this podcast, coincidentally. Would you like to talk some about indoor track?
Indoor track. We've only had one meet,
It's electrifying.
It's pretty fun.
It gets the body going.
It gets the body going.
Think about it.
And exactly what Trevor said. You have many different types of races to go into. You have the shot put if you want to do throwing. If you want to jump, there's the long jump and the high jump.
Some key players I'd like to talk about for these winter sports teams are, for the girls, Sadie Pasante, Emma T, Maddie Grennan. Some great basketball players I'm talking about here, we got Sadie Pasante averaging just under 20 points a game with averaging 19 in a dominant season for her so far. Another player I'd like to talk about is Emma Turner, averaging 16 points for the Huskies.
Holy snikes.
Yeah. And then we got Maddie Grennan, sophomore, averaging 13 for the Huskies as well. Emma Turner is a sophomore, by the way. That's pretty dominant.
She popped the half-court shot.
Yeah, I heard that in the last game.
She girshed it.
Against Portland, and this was a very dominant game for the Huskies. They played out of their minds for the girls. All right, another team, some key players. Obviously, I mentioned them previously in our last segment. But the boys' basketball team, Michael DeWake, sophomore, Dylan Cinquino, junior, Wyatt Luke, senior, and Luke McComiskey, senior. These guys are the team. This is the team for the Morgan Huskies. They've really been scoring a lot of points. They've been going crazy. All right. Some key players on the Morgan wrestling team: Nate Kinzer, obviously, Dom Larrabee, Ari Farr. Female wrestler on the team. Definitely a great addition to this team. Senior. Those 3 are all seniors. Indoor track. Some seniors that I think stand out right now.
Josh Nobitz.
Josh Nobitz.
I think Rowan Quinn.
Yep.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's doing a real great job of shot put. Yeah. Gavin, who else is a
Gavin's
standout?
doing great. He's been disqualified twice in his 2 attempts. So, that's just great numbers. I've never seen that out of someone.
Some women on the team. There's Gabby Navarra, senior. There's Rachel Spaziano,
Oh.
senior.
I have another shout out, Cameron Males. He's really stepping up.
Cameron
the freshman
Males,
class.
freshman. He's really helping out the freshman class. You know, he ran the 55 meter. He did pretty good. You know, he just wants to keep getting better at it. He wants to keep improving. You know, honing his skills in and stuff like that.
You know, that's real developmental traits right there from Cameron Mills.
Now we're on the hockey team.
We had mentioned them previously. You know, only
We've
3
mentioned
players.
the 3 players from Morgan, but from the other schools, Lorenzo DeFilio has been standing out to me. He scores a lot of goals from him. Another player is Preston Cantelli. You know, he's just overall a great player. Looks great on the ice. And then I want to shout out the East Haven Hive. We're electric, and just as we said, gets me excited thinking about it right now.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about the boys basketball. Let's do a little spotlight on boys girls basketball for a second.
Let's talk about the boys first. I want to get this out.
Yeah, out of for right now, the boys are averaging 45 points a game. 45. In their last game at Portland, they scored 23 points the whole game.
How do you score 23 points in a regular basketball game?
In a varsity basketball game.
8-minute quarters, you know. Back when I was in 7th grade on our JV basketball team, we scored 40 points in 8-minute halves running clock. That doubles the varsity team's points in 4 quarters, not running clock.
Their 3-point percentage, 23.8. 23.8% out of 8 games.
23 point. I don't even know what to say about that. Don't even know what to say. That is awful. Awful. You want to know what's worse?
Field goal percentage is almost just as bad. 29%.
You want to know what's worse, though? 33% under the rim.
33%. That's something with a
How do you-
6'4" center. I don't know about that.
How do you shoot 33% under the rim?
All right. Basketball's got some things to improve on. I mean, they do got a young core. I'll give them that, but I mean, come on.
We need to see more out of this team.
Yeah, they got a game. They got a game. As of recording, this is Friday the 10th. As of the second part of this recording,
This is
so
supposed to be our pride and joy. What's going on?
yeah, basketball was a great team last year. 20
Boys and girls both in the Shoreline Championship
Yep.
game. So
Unfortunately, they both lost, but they did have a stellar season. I mean, the boys went 18-2 in the regular season. That's phenomenal. This
only
year,
got 7 losses.
I don't know what's going on this
They
year.
might go 2-18 this year.
Hopefully not. Hopefully the boys can get back on track. I see a lot of future in this team. I see a lot of potential. I really hope this team can show
They
me
got
something
Westbrook
special.
soon.
Yeah, so
That'll be a win.
I mean, we knew they weren't going to be
Gavin's a
as
little
good as last year. I mean, I think everybody expected that.
yeah, but I mean,
starting
this
off
bad.
with only 1 win through what, 8 games?
yeah.
That's
We
just
expected
not
them to
up
drop.
to Morgan standards.
I mean, this is the Morgan School. I mean, we're a basketball pride and joy here. We're just coming off of Shoreline Championship 3-4 years ago. I mean, come on, we gotta. Historically, Morgan is a basketball program.
We expected them to be worse, but not this bad.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
That's all I gotta say too.
I agree.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the girls
The
basketball.
girls team is really
Heck
good.
yeah! I mean, what are they? 8-1, 7-1.
8-1. I think their only loss is to Granby.
Yeah.
I don't know who they played.
All right,
I
and
think it was Granby.
right now they're shooting 23%. Not so great. Not so great. 23% from the
Not
three.
so great, but they're
Their field goal percentage is a lot better though. I mean,
They're
40% from the
some
field.
upsurge.
Obviously, still not pretty good, but they are averaging 56 points a game, so you can't really say much about it.
Hot take. I think the girls team has a chance of being the boys team in basketball.
I think so. I really think that
Are
would
they
be a
gonna
great.
scrimmage them with
That
the
would be-
girls basketball.
That'd be a very close game.
That'd be a very good
I
game to
think
watch.
The girls would probably win.
I think it'd be a good game to watch. I think it'd be some great basketball playing on that court. You know, they got some stellar players. You know, they got Sadie Pasante.
Emma Turner.
What an amazing basketball
Sadie.
player. Sadie Pasante.
Sadie. Emma Turner.
Averaging 19 points a
Emma
game.
Turner.
Emma Turner, big man down low. She's a
26
dog.
points, 20 rebounds in the first game of the year.
What a stellar performance that is. Maddie Grennan, a sophomore. Maddie Grennan and Emma Turner both being sophomores. That is phenomenal for the Morgan girls basketball team.
And
I
she
mean,
pulls up from half court.
exactly.
Just
She
like-
made a half court
just
shot in the
LaMelo
most recent
Ball.
home game.
LaMelo
Yeah, LaMelo
Ball.
Ball. That's a LaMelo Ball shot right there. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the not so watch sports like wrestling. You know, wrestling. They have some absolute great players. I know we just talked about this earlier with Nate Kinzer and Dom Larrabee, but let's talk a little bit more about their single season records as of right now. So Dom Larrabee's currently 7-6 on the record so far into the season. You know, his sophomore year that he made a deep run in the state opens for playoffs. He won a couple matches there. He's definitely a standout player for this wrestling unit. I think he could be something special in this state tournament. He said he hopes that he can win a couple more games in his sophomore year. Have more of a breakout season since it's his senior year, and he really wants that state championship. You guys got anything to say about that?
I believe he could do it. I saw how hard he worked in football, and I'm sure he transitions that into wrestling. So, I think he has a good chance.
All right, that concludes our session for the Morgan sports area.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about some sports around the world right now. We got the national championship coming up. Notre Dame versus OSU.
Who you guys got?
I think I got Ohio State. I think I'm gonna have to take Ohio State.
I would love Notre Dame to win. They're my favorite team. But if I was a betting man, I would pick Ohio State.
What would you think, Trevor?
Okay. So, let me break this down. I want Notre Dame to win based on I like the underdogs, and I didn't expect them to get past the second round. And it surprised me a lot when they made it, and I just want them to win. But Ohio State is just a very strong team.
All right, Ohio State's Ohio State, right? They're the top team in every single year.
They're a very strong team, but also they could struggle, as we saw against Michigan earlier this year, where they lost 13-10 and couldn't move the ball all game. So if that happens again with Notre Dame, I don't think they're going to be able to compete with them, because Notre Dame they could turn it on, as we saw. They started slow against Penn State and they turned it on.
I mean, they gave Texas the business. They did give Texas the business.
They did give Texas the business.
They gave
Oregon the business.
Oh, they gave Oregon the business.
They gave Tennessee the business.
Yeah, they've been on a hot streak. They're hot, as one would say. They're smoking hot.
Same with Notre Dame. Gotta remember that. Notre Dame's hot. They're hot.
They're not smoking hot, though. They're not smoking hot, all right?
It's not smoking hot. What the hell?
Let's talk a little bit about the Cavaliers, the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA.
That's my favorite team right there.
This team is disgusting.
I think they're better than the 73-9 Warriors back in 15-16. I don't see any other team beating them. Obviously, they just lost, to the Pacers. Not a good team. But I think that was just a fluke game, They beat the Thunder. They beat the Celtics. I know they lost to the Celtics earlier in the season, but they destroyed them. They played really well against them. Every single good team they've played against, like the Knicks, they've beat. I think they're just all around very solid team. They don't really have that superstar guy. Like, they have Donovan Mitchell.
They have a good chemistry
Right,
team.
exactly.
Their front office did a great job after LeBron left. They rebuilt, got picks, they did this and that. I think that this team is good, but I don't think they're great. I think they're just having a good in-season run. This is like the OKC last year. They had a great run.
You can't call a great run just a great run. You don't think that it's going to...
I mean, look at the Thunder in the playoffs.
They have 5 losses in the entire season.
Out of 38 games, yeah. You look at the Thunder last year, they were basically having the same record. And look how the Thunder ended up. First, second round exits, whatever they were.
I don't know
The Cavs
anything
are
about
like that,
basketball.
The thing about the Cavs, though, is that they have great defense. They have great defense, and they have the best offense in the entire league. Like, there's no match in them. They're the best team in the league. They might be the best team
basketball
ever.
team from last year's solos then.
I don't disagree with that. Hey, but the Thunder, have one less loss. Yeah, they played less games, right?
Yeah, and
They have
Cavs
one
beat
less
the
loss.
Thunder.
Okay. I think that the Cavs are a worse team than the Thunder. I think the
Then how
OKC
do
Thunder are
they
going to
I
make a
think the
final
Thunder
four.
are good because I saw that on Instagram.
What he said.
You guys
As
are a
of-
bunch of casuals.
As of right now,
Kevin, you're a casual.
I've been a Cavs fan since I was in 2nd grade because of LeBron. I've seen this team at their lowest. Now they're back at their highest.
Yeah,
I've
but
and
never
I'm
seen you
loving
watch an NBA
every
game.
single second of it. I watch every game that's...
listen here. LeBron carried this team to what they are now. If LeBron was never there, this team would not
LeBron's
be
been
there.
gone for like
Believe
6
it.
seasons.
And what do you think
Would.
happened from 2018 to
They were
2025?
terrible.
No.
And they got picks.
They got picks.
But
They
Yeah,
were
dude.
the worst team in the league for I think 2 seasons straight.
They were. I
They
remember
were
those years.
god awful.
They were awful in
I
2K.
will agree, yeah.
They were awful in 2K. They were easy pickings when I played them in my career. Oh my
Yep,
god. I dropped like 110 maybe.
I'll agree with that statement. You know what? I want to talk about one more team. This team, hometown team as of right now. You know, they've been losing a couple weird games. You know, they've been winning a lot of good games. The UConn men's basketball team. You know,
I don't think they're that good.
I really don't think they're gonna make a chance. I don't think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna fluke out in the Sweet 16. I don't see them going anywhere. You know, they lost 3 games in a row to
Yeah, but that was in
unranked
Hawaii.
teams.
You gotta think about like jet lag and stuff like that.
All right.
So how the Maui tournament invitation, whatever it is.
That was a
That
fluke.
was not a good tournament, as we heard.
All right,
Hurley
but
said they're never going to do that again. That was a stupid decision.
you can't lose 3 games
But they
to
came back.
unranked teams.
Yeah, I know they did
But
that.
every good team they've played. What
They-
I don't understand is they played.
Yeah, they beat
against
Gonzaga. I mean,
They
that's
beat Gonzaga, they beat Texas at Texas.
Baylor.
Baylor, they beat at home. So those were 3 wins at like when they came back. They were pretty dominant.
But then how do they lose to these teams that are
unranked. Like it just
unranked?
The
I'd say
Villanova's
the
loss,
last
I understood.
Villanova. You know, I'd say they're above average.
Liam
team.
McNeely's
But
out
they're
too.
not like
He's one of
UConn's
the
They're not-
scorers.
yeah. I mean, UConn is not what they were last year.
Should they have won that game? Absolutely. You know, Caravan missed 2 free throws right at the end of the game. He could have tied it with just 1, sent the game to overtime. He could have won it if he hit 2, but he missed both of them and they lost the game. That's not a team loss right there. Like
That's an
obviously there's
individual
stuff that
loss.
could have happened early in the game that could have switched it. Like one more 3 made, one more basket, literally one more basket, and it just didn't happen.
They need a good
But
big man.
you cannot. You are the star player of the team. You came back. You should have been in the draft last year. You came back to try to help the team, and you missed 2 free throws straight at the end of the game with I think less than 3 seconds left on the clock. You have to make those.
I mean, in my opinion,
That's
No.
why you're. That's why you're on UConn the best.
in the
basketball
wise
player.
words of Frank Rossi, unforced errors. Unforced errors can lose you a basketball game, and that's what happened there. Unforced errors.
They need dominant big man play like they had with Klingon and Sonogo for the past 2 years. I don't think Samson Johnson's doing that job. So
He's still a dog.
he's
Yeah.
a dog, but I don't know. He's not the guy. I think the backup Therese Reed is better than him. He's more of like a scrappy guy like Sonogo was. Doesn't have as much height. Just scrappy under the basket and could score.
Yeah. All right, I think this was a very good talk. You know, I think we're gonna have to cut it short here, though. It was great talking to you guys, and I hope you guys tune in for episode 3.
My fans.
Goodbye.